class that is at the base of the Stalinist bureaucracy. That's a big part of it, as James said. There were mass workers' assemblies, a very politically conscious, mobilized, motivated working class who created these institutions, the Soviets, and they were gone. So that's one aspect of it. But the other aspect is scarcity. And I think it was Trotsky, but if it wasn't Trotsky, it was a good analogy anyway, who gave the analogy of a shop that has plentiful supply of bread. And if there's a plentiful supply of bread, people can just pop in and pop out and get the bread, no problem, right? Because there's enough to go around. But if there isn't a plentiful supply of bread, if there's not enough to go around, then a queue forms outside the shop. And as soon as the queue forms, you need somebody to keep the queue in line. You need a policeman, basically, right? To make sure that people don't jump the queue, that they don't start tearing each other apart, to try and get ahead of each other in the queue. So the basic objective, either abundance of the wherewithal to give everybody what they need, or the lack of such, will dictate whether you get an overarching bureaucracy. If you get a policeman, if you like, who has to keep people in line, has to ration scarce goods. Inevitably, at least some of the policemen will eventually start to look after themselves first, right? And they will start to prefer particular people they know, right? But it's not because of some innate corruption of the individual. It's simply there isn't enough to go around. It's going to be rationed. Some people are going to get it, and some people aren't. Now, the only way out of that situation is to create the material abundance necessary for that not to happen. And the Bolsheviks knew from the outset, and they were very, very clear on this, that unless in a poor country like Russia, the revolution spread to countries that were richer, they would eventually face this problem. So it was a holding operation in the hope that revolution would spread. Tragically, the revolutions in the big Western neighbours, Germany, etc., failed. They were left isolated, and the rise of bureaucracy becomes an inevitability at that stage.